And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this evening. We have a magnificent guest with us tonight, one who is going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration, and that is none other than a frontline soldier, an activist, a student in the ministry, a believer, and a friend, none other than our brother Arvence. Muhammad, first of all, assalamu alaikum, sir.
Well, alaikum salam, sir.
And on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, we want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come have a very important conversation with us tonight.
Yes, sir.
We have been flooded with many questions and concerns, text messages, inboxes when they found out that I was interviewing you. And we want to start with our first one, and that is: are Black people connected to what is known as UFOs or UAPs?
Yes, sir. Black people are connected. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad always pointed it out. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as well. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan stated that these beings that pilot these baby planes, what people call UFOs, he said they're not extraterrestrial from outside of the planet. He said they're from this planet, and they're an ancient people. They're Black people. So we as a people, we've been around for more than 6,000 years. We've been around for millions and millions and tens of millions of years. So yes, they are Black people, and yes, we are connected.
Okay, I'll praise this for a lot. Excellent. Now we want to get right, stay right there. For the people who are watching, every day it seems like the Department of Justice is releasing files, the government, the UN, about mother planes, baby planes, UFOs. Why is it so important to the people who are watching right now to understand who is on the planes, how they were made, and why does that matter in 2026?
It matters because as the Nation of Islam has been bringing the truth about this subject and why they're here, who the pilots are, and what their mission is, and why they do what they do whenever they desire to do it. We've been talking about this in the Nation of Islam since 1930 up
Mm-hmm,
until this
mm-hmm.
moment. And so now that Allah is making people in the government and politicians and so forth, they're coming out and putting it in the public now, putting it on the news now. And then if you look online, there have been clips of interviews of these certain type of individuals telling you what has been happening on bases of military bases and what's been happening in NASA. This is stuff you're not going to see this on the news. You're not. They're never going to talk about it in the news, CNN, and all of this stuff. They're not going to talk about it. So you have to find it through other sources. You have to find it through the Nation of Islam. You have to find it through some hidden clip interview that someone has done that's been leaked out and so forth, things like that. And all of it bears witness to Allah and what Allah has done and is doing, and what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has always been speaking about. He's not a liar, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has speaking about he's not a liar. And over time, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, "Time will vindicate the minister."
Mm-hmm.
Time. So, um, in the word vindicate, the definition of that word, it talks about proving someone to be real or true, or the real thing. They're not lying and everything like that. So
Praise be to Allah. Excellent. And shout out to everybody who was watching, people showing love from all around the world. Walaikum salam, Sister Naima. Walaikum salam, Sister Miriam. Thank you both for always being consistent. And shout out to Brother Maz, Sister Milani, and Sister Samira as well. Thank you all for always showing love. Excellent. Now we want to know, with speaking of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he was silent for a moment and then came back out, started speaking, and recently um, multiple funerals, but I want to go to a specific janaza of our brother Ronald. May Allah forever be pleased with him. He was someone who, watched me grow up and watch you grow up. What could you tell us a personal story about Brother Ronald for people who don't know him?
several. I mean, he was one of those who, I mean, he's the type of person, always was the type of person like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, what you see is what you get. He was never one way and then something else somewhere else. He was always the real deal. Like honestly, he was always a man's man. He was always a soldier. He was always someone who uplifted anyone or tried to teach and train anyone, tried to make anybody better. You couldn't be around him and not try to do better. He will always try to, make you better, help you to do better, and just tell you certain things. He told me several times and trained me on several things, better ways to think, better ways to do things, and a way to look out for things. And he was always big on how to eat to live, huge on how to eat to live all the time. So anytime he seen me, man, that's okay, but you need to cut that out. Oh, like, yes, sir. You just gotta Ron come around, man. You just gotta be right, And he wasn't an individual that was like beating on you or anything like that with the word. He didn't do that. He was just a person who wanted to be what Allah wants all of us to be, which is a better human being, a direct reflection of Allah and His Messenger. And that's who Brother Ronald was, man. And we thank Allah for him. And anytime that he was around anybody, I'm pretty sure they could say the exact same thing that I'm saying about Brother Ronald, for real, seriously. So unfortunately, he's not with us physically anymore, but he's done so much work. I mean, he's here. He's still here in all of us, and all the many things he's done is still here as well. So all praise is due to Allah.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Excellent words. I wanted to ask you specifically, there are people who are new to the People's Podcast channel who want to know about many things of the teachings of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, but specifically dealing with the will. You seem to be very confident in your delivery and your understanding of it, as if you had personal experiences, as if you're speaking from, like this. Could you let us know how you were so confident talking about a subject as complex as UAPs and UFOs?
Yes, sir. It started my relationship with what people call UFOs. It started when I was 5 years old. I didn't know anything about the Nation of Islam, or anything. I didn't know anything. I was just, I'm a regular person. We're in the hood trying to survive. And I was riding the car with my mother. She seen it first. She flipped out. We knew something was wrong because she never acts like that. So we know something was wrong. She was seeing something. And look over there, look at the sky. And we looked in the sky to where she was pointing at. And she said, "Oh my God, it's over here now." We looked, and brother, broad daylight, there was this silver, shiny, it wasn't a light. It was a broad daylight, the actual ship, like you see an airplane in the sky. We saw it. It wasn't way up there. It was maybe like 20 stories over the ground, following us on the side of the car. It was the shape of a skinny football with a small lip around it. And it followed us for like 15 minutes. And I was 5 years old, sitting in the back of the car. I remember that. I'll never forget. I didn't know what it was. I thought what we were all taught growing up, UFOs and aliens. But I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared. I was excited, like, "Oh, look." So when I heard the life-giving teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I was in 6th grade. And that's when I learned exactly what it was when I was 5 years old. So from that point on, after that, I've been seeing them more and more and more and more almost everywhere I go. And it's so personal to me. This is something that I've been seeing my whole entire life, literally since 5 years old. So that's why I speak so bold about it. It's not myself having my experiences for that long, my whole life, along with me studying the life-giving teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and seeing what he's been teaching about since 1930, before I was born. I mean, how can you doubt that? I mean, how can you doubt it? You can't doubt it. So that's where the strength comes from. That's where the conviction comes from, because um, at a certain point, your belief grows from belief to knowing, and you speak from knowing now instead of belief. So that's where I am right now. It's by Allah's grace.
Beautiful. Yes, sir. So, for those of us who are watching who may have never seen or had any personal experiences with them, you're saying if we see wheels, UFOs, UAPs, we should Should we be startled? Should we think that they are Men in Black type situations coming down from, on big heads with green things sticking out of their ears? You're saying these are black people
Yes,
flying these planes.
yes. And if you ever see it, don't be afraid. I mean, it's kind of hard to say don't be afraid because you see something like that for the first time. Not everyone will, act the way I acted when I was 5 years old, seeing it for the first time. I was excited and happy, but I still didn't know who they were at the time. So now with all of this information that's available to us, and I'm pretty sure it's, everybody's hearing about it now, and everyone's seeing videos circulating online and YouTube. There's stuff online everywhere. And if you go to NASA's website, NASA constantly takes down video footage from the space station that they have out in
Mm.
space. They capture these ships in space all the time, and they cut the feed to the public because they don't want the public to see what's going on. But I mean, you can't hide the truth anymore. The truth is everywhere. You can't hide it anymore. So if you see this, try to calm down. Um, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that you can actually speak to the pilots. He said you can do it mentally. You don't have to speak with words. He said that's not the way that they speak. They speak to you mentally. He said, speak to them mentally and they will respond. Just try it out. If it don't work the first time, try it out. Try it, practice, keep practicing it. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan taught me how to talk to them and ask them to come down so that you can see them in the sky. And I didn't catch on to it at first, but he told me that for the third time. And I said, I wonder why he keeps saying that. And I actually tried it. And the first time that I tried it, it actually worked. And I wasn't ready for it the first time, so I got scared and ran back in the house. But every time after that, I've been practicing and practicing. And over the many years now, it's so strong to the point where if if I think about them, they'll show up. It's so strong to the point now I can feel their presence. I can feel that if they're desiring for me to see them, go outside and look over there, and they'll show up. So the whole practice makes perfect thing. You can practice your communication with these human beings, and over time it'll get bigger. So many other people have done it. um, I don't know if people are familiar with Carlos Diaz. He's a Mexican brother in Mexico. He had a very personal relationship with them. They would come to his home all of the time. He put
Mm.
out video footage of them, like literally at night, these ships at his home. So beautiful footage that you've never seen before. So, I mean, this is something that's real. This is not sci-fi. This is real life. And this is something that you're able to do because you're connected. This is something that you're able to
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, beautiful. And thank you to everybody who's showing love. Mark said, "Praise be to Allah." Thank you very much. So I want to. So what we want to know is, what is the purpose of these wills?
Well, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad talked about their job. They protect the messenger of Allah and they're here to carry out God's will on this planet. And they're
Beautiful.
here to help the messenger of God defeat Satan and evil people on our planet. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan always talked about how he's followed and protected by these pilots on these ships. And me personally, and those of us around him, we've seen it happen plenty of times, right? They come to his home all of the time. I've been documenting every time they come to his home ever since 2013. And the last documentation that I have was just 8 days ago. They've come to his home just 8 days ago.
Mm.
And yeah, so I mean, this is something that's real. And my documentation is just everything that they do. I don't make up anything. I'm not trying to be scholarly and add anything. I keep it to where they give it. Wherever they give, that's what I get, and that's what I pass on to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So yeah, this is a subject that's very important, and those in the governments and the powerful people around the world, the wicked around the world, they know that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and Black people and righteous people around the planet are protected by those pilots on these planes, and they know this, and Their job, unfortunately, is to keep it quiet and lie about it. But, you know, they have a job to do, and they're going to do it when they're told to do it. Now, they have a saving aspect and they have a destructive aspect. So the saving aspect, they're able to communicate with you. They're able to help guide you towards the man of God so that you can see through scripture who this man of God is in our midst. It's not just 2,000 years ago. We have a Jesus figure in our midst today. And that's what that's about as well. Now, the destructive process that they have, each one of these planes or ships, they have 3 bombs on them. And each bomb can destroy a 50-mile square radius, you know, and drill down into the earth 1 mile deep before it explodes. So, I mean, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said that these ships, they fly so fast, wherever they unload their 3 bombs at, they can unload and reload several times before the enemy gets to fire 1 shot. I mean, that's too fast for you to even do that. So there's, I mean, you can't fight something like that. You can't. It's impossible. So, I mean, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, fortunately, Satan and Satan's world is over with, you know, right now. We have to do what we have to do as people on this planet to listen to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, listen to the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, so that they can guide us out of the way, so that we can have a chance to survive.
Excellent teaching. Yes, sir. Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. Derek Muhammad says, okay. Thank you, Brother Derek, for your question. And thank you to everybody who was watching. I wanted to ask you, sir, the 8 days ago, could you walk us through how it happened?
Yeah. So 8 days, I have it right. So this was Saturday, April 11th, 2026, at 6:27 in the morning. I actually wrote it down. One white ball of light there appeared to the farm as a ball of light. It just, the sky was clear at night. I'm outside. Something tells me to turn around and look in the sky over the minister's home. And this white ball of light just came on. And the sky just came on. So you can't say it's a satellite. You can't say it's a meteor. You can't say it's a balloon. No, this is intelligence. It appeared, came on bright, and it started moving. So one white ball of light appears over the minister's home and slowly traveled eastbound. As the baby plane flew over the front gate area, I seen a second dim white ball of light appear behind the first white ball of light. The second white ball of light slowly traveled southeast, then quickly disappeared. I saluted both angels on the baby plane. So I always, it's something I do. I always salute them every time I see them because I know who they are. I love them, and it's a sign. It's a sign of respect that I show to them and to the Lord of the world who created them. So that was 2 on that day. Now, the first sighting actually occurred January 7th. So from January 7th to April 11th, they've been arriving. So January 7th, I've seen a total of January 7th, I've seen a total of 25 on January 7th. This is at night. January 12th, I've seen a total of, pardon me, January 12th, I've seen a total of 21 at night. February 1st, I've seen 1. Now, these are all coming to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's home at night. February 25th, I've seen 1. March 19th, I've seen a total of 37 March 19th. All at once. You know, they just kept coming. And then April 11th was the 2 that I just read. So from January 7th to April 11th was a total of 87 baby planes. And the year just started. And that's close to 100. 87 already. So this is not entertainment. This is not, you know, something that's a high and buy thing or something that they do to show out or something like that. They have the will of the Lord of the world. That is the only thing that they know. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said the only thing that they know is perfect obedience to God. So when they arrive to his home, they're arriving for a reason. They're arriving to send a message to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. They're arriving for protection. They're arriving for many different things. And when I write this down and give it to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he gets the message from them that they're trying to get to him, and that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is trying to get to him, and that Almighty God Allah is trying to get to him as well. So that's what this is about. This is not entertainment and anything. And this is the connection that I've been blessed with. And this is something that I take very serious. And this is something that I love doing. I actually love it. And this is a part of my conviction and my strength, where the conviction and strength comes from that I speak of. This is all a part of it. This is all a part of it.
Beautiful. All praise due to Allah. Yes, sir. We want to stay there. When you see these are squadrons, these are ranks. The ranks, shout out to the ranks. But these are squadrons, the ranks. They come in deep, like they come in deep.
Right.
When you see this, what's going through your head? Is there a sound? Is it just light? Like walk us through when you see multiple ones like that.
Well, usually before the first one comes, I will get a feeling, a sensation over my body that over the years I've learned to pay attention to, and I've learned the meaning of it, what it is, what it means. Sometimes it'll be chill. Sometimes it'll just be a weird feeling that makes me turn around and look in the sky. Sometimes I get a ringing in my ear that makes me pay attention to the sky. I never hear voices. I always get a ringing or a feeling. Most of the times I'm already looking. I've been seeing this for so long in my life. I know I'm always paying attention to the skies for a reason. So when they arrived like that, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan told me, he said, when you see that many of these ships, he said baby planes, he said, when you see that many baby planes come to his home all at once at the same time, he said that means the enemy is planning something.
Mm.
And so when I see that many squadrons come, I said, uh-oh, something's wrong. I already know it. What's wrong? I don't know, but I know something's wrong. And sometimes the minister, as he's always working, he's somewhere working somewhere else, and they come to his home like that, and he's not there. He's working his work, what Allah has him doing. And I said, something's wrong. And I send a message to where he is of what's happening at his home. You know, he gets that message. What the message is, I don't know. I don't ever ask. You know, if he tells me, I don't know, but I never ask. It's not my business to ask. It's my business to do as he told me to do, which is give it to him. So that's all of that is a part of the whole process.
Beautiful. All praises due to Allah. Yes, sir. Now with our events, Easter just passed, and I saw a lot of people speaking about trending the resurrection, where they thought, Jesus was gone. 3 days later, he ascends. Metaphors, analogies, similes. We understand that. The Most High Mr. Farrakhan has taught us that some of us will get to see him ascend. There will be that he, like you said, this is Jesus-like figure. Could you help explain that to the people who are watching that don't, no matter what we hear or see, to understand that the minister is secure?
Yeah. So in the scripture, it talks about a certain son of man that will be beamed up into a cloud under the cover of night.
Yes, sir.
And that godly-like figure, that Jesus figure on our planet will be saved and pulled away from the death plots from the wicked of the world. And that's the same thing that happened to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He was pulled out of it and made to appear as dead to trick those who really tried to kill him. They thought they were successful, but in 1985, in September 17th, 1985, something happened.
Yes, sir.
And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan had this experience, but it was real, where he was taken from the top of a mountain in Tepoztlan, Mexico, and one of these, what people call UFOs, came to the mountain and beamed him up and took him to this big ship, what's called the mother plane. And if you see in the news, the news are talking about there's a mother plane out there. And this is something that's been talked about since 1930, but now it's coming out in the public. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said in 1985, he heard the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad's voice there tell him what the sitting president in 1985 was planning, which was a war against Libya.
Yes, sir.
And that was 2 weeks later. I mean, sorry, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that was less than 2 weeks after the president in 1985, which was Ronald Reagan, he had a secret meeting with his Joint Chiefs of Staff about this war. They were planning it. So less than 2 weeks later, he was taken, and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told him about that and told him, I want you to make a press conference and make known of their plans and tell them that you got it from me, Elijah Muhammad, on the wheel. So this is 1985.
Yes,
And
sir.
the world thinks he died in 1975. So anyone who physically dies, how can 10 years after their death, they can tell you about something that's happening currently in your time, something that's secret at that? You see what I'm saying? So this was proof that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is alive. And that's when those who tried to kill him found out that they were unsuccessful in killing him. And, you know, that came out in the newspapers, and it was real. It's not something that was made up. It was actually real. And if you go on YouTube right now, that actual video press conference that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's made, you can watch it right now. It's on YouTube.
Beautiful. All praises to Allah. Excellent, excellent. Yes, sir. Okay, so we you broke down the history of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Every day you go to work or you see the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, you have this in your brain and in your mind of how it's going to go, and that some people are going to be afforded the opportunity and honor to see him ascend. How do you process that when you're at work?
It's a very serious thing. Lately, for the past year or two, ever since he's been told to be quiet, every time I see him, I always think, like, man, I'm really gonna miss him. Yeah, I'm really gonna miss being blessed to see him face to face. It's such a blessing to see him. It's such a blessing to hear his voice. It's such a blessing to, experience him talking to you and having a conversation with you, and you're responding. I mean, that's unheard of. This is not something that everyone gets to do. So, but he teaches every time he talks, he teaches us all about a whole lot of things. And he hasn't forgot about his rendezvous with destiny of where he's going. He said his departure is dangerously close. That hasn't changed. Every day, every week, every month, every year is more dangerously closer and closer and closer and closer. And it's all surrounding around the world events right now. Everything that you see going on with the war in the East, that's connected, because many years ago, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that his departure happens on the heels of war.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, and he also said a long time ago that when the enemy attacks Iran, he said after Iran, they're coming for us, the Nation of
Mm.
Islam, bad people in America. So, I mean, they're not going to have the opportunity to be successful at killing the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. They've tried.
Allahu
I
Akbar.
mean, when he was in the hospital on the operating table for cancer a long time ago, they tried to kill him. The doctors that were supposed to be trying to save his life was the doctors that tried to kill him while he was on the operating table. I mean, God saved his life. Nobody else could save you at a time like that. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was out under anesthesia. So God saved his life. They tried to assassinate him on the table so that they could say, well, we did everything we could, and unfortunately we couldn't save him. No, they tried to kill him. But he survived. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that one thing that the enemy does when they try to kill you in a certain way that they know that you're not supposed to survive and you actually survive, he said that's how they know that you are from God.
Mm, mm, mm.
And now think about how wicked that is. You have to do something like that to someone to find out if they're from God instead of just listening and looking through scripture and pointing.
Mm.
And that's who are you that you have to do something like that? You are Satan. Just like the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has been proving who you are or who they are, they prove it themselves by the things that they do.
Mm.
So in their fight against the truth, they slap the label on the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They slap the label of anti-Semitism on them just to throw people's focus and mind away from them and what they're saying. So I mean, but that's Allah's will as well, because as Satan puts up their fight, God is putting up his fight, and who's gonna win? God or Satan?
Beautiful.
Honestly, who's gonna win? You can't beat God. You can't beat someone who controls the weather. tornadoes, earthquakes, volcanoes, hurricanes, rain, hail, sleet, snow, cold and heat, and the insects. You have no weapon big enough to fight that with.
Akbar, you teaching Arvence, beautiful. Praise be to Allah. And thank you to everybody who's watching all around the world. We got Janice, thank you very much for watching from Tulsa. Been watching and listening to the minister and the messenger since 1968. Love them.
Wow.
You got a question? Yes, we look forward to your question. You can put that in the chat. While you're waiting on the question, I mean, you can just put your questions in the chat. Thank you all very much. Brother Vince, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan spoke at Minister Akbar's janaza funeral for people who don't know. Uh, what was it like for you all these years to interact with Minister Akbar?
I've interacted with him very few times, but over the years, a few times I've been blessed to be the person to actually pick him up from the airport in Chicago when he
Okay.
came to have a meeting with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And his work that he's done around the world. One time we were at another location, and there was this African cab driver, and we asked him a question, and the man acted like he didn't really want to be bothered with us. But then Minister Akbar said something to the man. He just said, "Where are you from?" And the man said, "Somewhere in Africa, I can't remember." But Minister Akbar said, "Oh," and then he started talking to him about Africa and who the ruler is over there and Farrakhan, and the man just opened up. I mean, he just wanted to give us anything. He was our best friend, and I was like, "Wow, that just showed me the importance of Minister Akbar."
Mm.
He looks like a regular person, but Allah in the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan didn't make him a regular person. He was made specifically for the job that he has been doing, and he's been doing an excellent job. And I mean, just a worldwide loved person who helped grow the love in the hearts and minds of people around the world for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. See, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he doesn't have to travel around the world every single day for people to know him. He has people
Yes,
like
sir.
Minister Akbar and others, and he has people can look at him on YouTube and everything like that, and in social media accounts and everything like that. So I mean, being around Minister Akbar, he was always extremely knowledgeable about the life-giving teachers and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, world events. I mean, he was just that type of person, and being around him was a great experience. Being around him was like being in school, being in college or something, just
Yes, sir.
learning
Yes,
what
sir.
college can't teach you. That's what it was like. And I mean, wonderful experience all the time.
All praises to Allah. Excellent. And thank you to everybody who's watching. Um, oh, Jan, he answered the question about the ASA, the vision you had. Okay, so man, people are just asking so many questions. Yes, the people are black. The people are asking, those questions. A brother said, "May you please talk about you had a vision concerning the minister's departure." I think that's what the question is.
Oh, yes. I had a vision of his departure that a few years ago I was able to explain to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I thought it was a dream at first. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan told me it wasn't a dream. So
Mm.
what happened in this vision, myself and brothers from Mas Mariam we were securing the outer perimeter of this big, huge mansion. Now the mansion was a big, huge mansion, but the look of it, it had sort of an Asian look, like the big Asian homes look with the character, the Eastern character of architecture. It looked like that. I don't know where we were, but it looked like that because there was nothing around but grass, no other buildings, houses, anywhere, just this big mansion with big long stairs going up to the front door. We don't know who was in the home, but the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was on his way to the home to meet with someone in there. We don't know who it is. So
Mm.
we're standing outside awaiting his arrival, securing the home in the area, and all of a sudden, 3 baby planes started flying by real low. And we're like, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. But this is broad daylight. So they landed right in front of us. Maybe they hovered maybe like 2 feet off of the grass. And we all shut up. We were quiet, like, oh my God, what's gonna happen, right? So the look of these ships, they were egg shaped, but it was like a matte black metal finish, all three of them. The exact same size, the exact same color. The front of each baby plane or so-called UFO opened up to stairs that touched the grass. One tall black man walked out of each one. They were tall, like maybe 6'6". They were slim, but they were muscular. Their skin was way darker than mine. Their skin was very, very dark, almost like the color of my suit. Skin was very dark. Their haircuts were like mine, sharp, clean fade. The eyes white, teeth white, face clean, no blemish or anything on their skin, anything. And they all had a serious demeanor, but only one spoke. He asked me, he said, "Where's the minister?" I don't know why he came to me. And I don't even know why he asked me, "Where's the minister?" They came to the house that he was at. They knew he was there. It's not they didn't make a mistake. So I don't know why he asked me. I guess it was to break the ice or something. I don't know. But I was so shocked. I just pointed at the house because the minister had gone in the house to meet with whoever he's meeting with already. So he looked at the house. He looked at me. Then him and the other two angels, they walked to the house, but they didn't go inside. The minister's cars was out front, and they walked to the stairs and stood by the minister's car that he got out of, waiting for the meeting to end, so he could come out and then they take him. So they stood there for hours. They didn't say anything. They didn't move a muscle. So when the minister finally came outside, he's walking down the stairs. He's getting ready to get into his vehicle. The one that asked me, "Where's the minister?" He stood in front of the minister's door and asked the minister, he said, "Brother Minister, are you ready?" The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan looked at him and looked at the other two pilots from the ships, and he seen their ships in the background parked in the grass where we were at. So he knew at this time they were coming to take him. He couldn't hold it back anymore. So he grabbed his suit jacket like this, put his head down and said, "Yes, I'm ready." He didn't want to go, but he had to this time. So the angel that asked him, "Are you ready?" politely grabbed the back of his arm. The other one grabbed the other arm, and the third one stood behind him. And they walked him over to the ships that were sitting in the grass. And the one that asked me, "Where's the minister?" he grabbed the minister and put him into his baby plane, or what people call UFO. The other two got in theirs, and all three of them took off like that. And we was just looking up in the sky. There was nothing we could do. And then the vision ended. So I explained that whole thing to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He said, "That wasn't a dream." He said, "I want you to be the one to see me to leave." And I was like, "Yes, sir." And then he said, "Whoever the person is to see me leave, that's going to be a famous person because the whole world is going to have questions for you." And I was like, "Okay, yes, sir." So I've never dealt with the whole world before, but inshallah, I'll be blessed to see his departure. And that's just something I'm going to have to deal with. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan told me at another time, he said, "Tell the world." He said, "You have my permission when I leave to tell the world what you've seen." I said, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir." And so, you know, this is a happening thing. And his departure is something real that must happen because scripture has to be revealed because God is not a liar, right? It has to happen. Whether we live to see it or not, it has to happen. There are those who live to see the departure of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I wasn't born. I didn't see that. I know it's real. I know it happened, but I wasn't there. So those of us who wasn't there, we're here now with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and we get to see it if we continue to study and believe that God is not a liar and he's actually going to do what he said he's going to do.
Beautiful. All praises to Allah. Excellent. People are bearing witness and showing love all around the world, saying, Allahu Akbar, this is beautiful. Thank you very much. And thank you all for your questions. For our events, we have a brief 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast. We are grateful for every like, share, and subscription. Thank you for every anonymous Cash App as well as Super Chat. 1 second. There we go. Thank you all very much. And thank you, Ronald Arvence, for always representing. Man, we got some great questions coming up, and we look forward to your response. There we go. Film editing, please reach out if you need any of that. Sister Naima, Stay On Point Dance Academy. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country. Sister Miriam, ABC, I Love Me, Children children's book and coloring book. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ. My two books, Cleopatra, which is a children's book, and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are available on Amazon. Beautiful. Thank you for everyone's sponsorships, as well as Star and Crescent Upholstery out of Detroit, Michigan. Thank you for your sponsorship, as well as Raymond's Father and Son Lawn Care out of Florida. Make sure we all support and continue to show love to them. Thank you to Key, Jay Lewis, everybody who's saying peace and showing love, peace with the gods. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Yes, sir. We want to get right into it. The crime rate in Chicago around many major cities has been high for years, but at one point, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan took it upon himself to actually go into the streets to try to do his part by leading the brothers and into the city, and it caused such an inspiration around the country for people to see a man of God going into the streets, the brothers following him. Could you let us know, because there are people who missed that feeling, who weren't there to see the minister actually go into the streets of Chicago to bring a message of peace and a warning? What was that like for you to actually see him in that element?
That was beautiful. I was blessed to be one of those who were with him everywhere we went in Chicago, and we went to a lot of different places. We went to some of the most, high crime areas in the city, like some of the biggest hot spots. So it was a blessing. The way the people responded in those areas. Just imagine if when Michael Jackson was alive, he comes to the hood. Just imagine the response. People running out, and then word gets around, Michael Jackson outside. I mean, that was the response from the people. And I remember we arrived to one block, one city location. The minister got out the car. He starts walking down the street. There was this girl sitting on the porch. She said, Mama Farrakhan here. She ran in the house and got her mother. Her mother came downstairs. The minister spoke to her. She said, Farrakhan. She said, my daughter just woke me up out of my sleep. She said, I was just having a dream that Jesus was walking down my block. And I came outside, it was you. Now, we can't make this up. We don't know who she is. She actually said that. And I was like, oh my God, that was amazing. So to see the people's response, there was this other young brother. He said, Minister Farrakhan, I'll be telling all these young brothers around here about you. I'll be telling them, listen to you, and I'll be trying to help you out here. And, it's a lot of people that's actually doing things like that. We don't know who they are and where they are and what they're doing. So, I mean, the love that the minister has, the people know who he is, but not everyone is ready to change their ways yet. Not everyone is going to join the Nation of Islam like yourself, myself, and the rest of us, and take it further. There are people who would take the minister's message of truth and just work in a community. There are people over community events, people over this, people over that, people over churches. There was a pastor one day, he passed now years ago, may God be pleased with him. But there was a pastor of a church who told the minister, he said, Minister Farrakhan, every Sunday when I teach my congregation, he said, I listen to one of your speeches to get inspired so that I can know what to teach on. I mean, just think about that. I mean, how many more people are doing that? How many more people are doing that? So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the violence in the city went way down for one man. Out of love for us, wanting us to stop us from killing each other in this city, the violence went way down. And on the news, one of the police chiefs, he took credit for it, but we didn't care. You could have the credit. We was out there doing the work. It's all over YouTube. You can watch it. So, I mean, it's fine. You can have the credit, but and also the bad part about that, some of the locations that we went to after we left, some of the Chicago police officers that were white, they went to those locations that we went to and threatened the young people in the neighborhood on the streets and told them don't talk to us anymore, and held up the Final Call newspaper because we were on the Final Call newspaper cover in the streets, the minister in the streets. And they held up the paper, see, don't talk to them no more, and they're gonna get you in trouble. And so some of them actually got scared, but that's going to happen. So you have the enemy out here trying to tear down the messenger's work always. And that's always going to happen. And you're doing something like that to someone who's trying to help you. We're trying to help you. You're the police. We're trying to help you. You know what I mean? You should be helping us to help you. Let us help you. Don't tear down the minister's work. Don't try to go against him. But people prove who they are by the way they conduct themselves consistently.
Absolutely. All praises to Allah. You teaching with our events. And thank you to everybody who's watching. Brother said he remembered coming to the farm and doing work. And when he finished, the baby planes came out. Beautiful. Brother said he was taught about you, brother, in a few words by scientists who taught him. Thank you for your service. Brother Ian, thank you that always showing love. No Bama's allowed. And man, people just bear witness all around the world. All right, I wanted to ask you, sir. I got an opportunity to see you at Savior's Day in person. All praises to Allah at the drill competition. So that's always a good thing. People want to know, is Brother Arvence going to come out of retirement and drill again? What's going on? Shout out to Chicago for winning first place. Are you going to come out and drill ever again?
I don't even have the time to drill now. That's I would like to, but life happens and I have more responsibilities now. I don't have the time to drill and practice and everything like that. You have to dedicate all of that time to that for a few months leading up to Savior's Day. So that I don't have that free time anymore. I wish I could, but I don't have the free time anymore. But the current drill teams, they have it now. They got it. They've taken it and gone on with it and done a great job. And shout out to all of the first place winners, second place, and third place winners.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the drill competition is always fun to watch. Always. I love the spirit. I just love the spirit and the cadence and the movements. I love the spirit of it, bro. It just shows you how strong our nation are and how strong our young people are. It's a beautiful thing.
I agree. And thank you very much. So many people absolutely think if you all want to assist with getting me any guests to come on the platform, by all means, inbox me and we'll make it happen for you all. I wanted to ask you, sir, speaking of earlier, I referenced the ranks. Are you ever going to get back in the studio? What's up with it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We actually have a whole lot of unreleased music. But we're actually working on getting back in the studio already. It's just a thing where everyone are in different locations. We're not all in the same location that we were at first. So it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And the one thing we don't want to do is force anything because it doesn't come out right when you force it. When you let Allah take control, because the type of music that we make, when you let Allah take control, it comes out perfectly. Like the Elijah Rock song that we made. That's just, oh my God, that was beautiful. And one of the brothers made the beat. He sampled Mahalia Jackson because Elijah Rock was her song first. So we sampled her voice for the hook. And Brother Timothy, shout out to Brother Timothy here in Chicago from the ranks. He made the beat and he told us, I want us to write about the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Yeah, of course, yeah, why not? So he said, but all of us have to pray the next morning at 5 a.m. at the same time, our regular prayer, and then after our regular prayer, pray to Allah to give us the verse for the song. Brother, we all prayed our regular prayer the next morning at 5 a.m. and then prayed that extra prayer for the song. As soon as I said, my whole verse came to me and I wrote it down. And that literally, because I didn't know what to say, where do you start? It's so much that he's done and still doing. Where do you start? Like, where do you start? So the verse that I have on there, it was beautiful. It came from their prayer. And that song Elijah Rock is like one of those songs that would never ever play out.
I agree. All praises to Allah and phenomenal verse. Shout out to, that's what we need. The minister loves, arts and culture. So we need to use that for positive use. I have another question, sir. We want to know about, you work a lot in the personal space of the Honorable Mrs. Farrakhan and, of course, Mother Khadija Farrakhan. And I was explaining to a brother there how I think it should be in a play, a book, movie, or television script, just the love story of seeing the Honorable Mrs. Farrakhan and Mother Khadija, how they interact with each other. It's just beautiful to see, people being in love for that many years. And every time I'm around them, I'm just like, man, they love each other. Could you let us know what it's like to see an example of pure love like they had?
they have the same childhood love that they had when they were children. I mean, it's beautiful to see. It's seeing that that's what I want.
Mm.
Now I know what real love looks like. I know what real love feels like. I know what real love sounds like, you know, and they're so peaceful with one another and they're so connected. They don't even have to too much talk to one another about things. They just know each other already because, you know, they love each other so much and they've been together for over 70 years married. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan actually asked me one time, he said, brother, me and my wife been married for over 70 years. I said, yes, sir. He said, don't you want to be married that long? I said, yes, sir. He said, stop waiting then. I said, yes, sir. So, you know, when I get married next time, inshallah, it'll be the last time. And um, being blessed to be around them to experience their love. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan shows me personally, by watching him, he shows me personally how to treat a wife, how to treat a woman, how
Mm.
to be kind, how to be thoughtful, you know, how to look out for her in all different type of ways. And, you know, you do things, you want to do things, you know, talk to her. Just let her know. Just involve her. Don't just do things and act like she's a second thought. She's your wife. She's not a second thought. You know what I mean? So it's to all of us, if you're married or not, you know, keep that in mind. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, you know, that's the way he conducts himself with his wife. He's not disrespectful or anything like that. You know, he really cares and really loves her. You know, Mother Khadijah told me that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught her how to be the way that she is for her husband.
Yes, sir.
He taught her how to be the wife for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. That's a blessing. And I mean, being blessed to see that and know what that's like, you know, the rest of the women, you're not going to be taught personally by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad these days. You're not, you know, how to be the wife for their husband or whatever. So, but seeing Mother Khadijah and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and you can see what that's like. You can learn from the most honorable Elijah Muhammad that way by watching them. So that's what that's like every day. And it's a blessing, bro. It's really a blessing.
All praise due to Allah. Excellent job, Brother Arvence. Excellent job. And people are bear witness. Thank you all very much. Thank you very much. Let's hope. And much love to people sending much love. Thank you to all the people who've been in the comments. Thank you for all of the super chats as well as the cash apps. Thank you very much. And man, this has been an honor. Brother Arvence, got to put you on the hot seat. Inshallah, we'll bring you back again. But I really want to do an in-person interview with you. I don't ever see you in Atlanta,
Yes,
so I
sir.
guess I got to come up to Chicago. But we got to do an in-person interview to even go in more in depth of your visions,
Absolutely.
of your experiences, and may Allah continue to bless you to hold it down for us while you watch the back of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and Mother Khadijah and the believers. So thank you. We salute you for putting
Yes,
your
sir.
life on
Thank
the line and representing. And shout out to the rest of the brothers on the team. And may Allah continue to bless you and your family. And man, we just love you, Brother Arvence. Thank you to everybody who's watching. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off for the People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum, sir.